Right.
No.
So you were saying.
Okay, so what I was saying was, when I invite my peoples out to like go to church and stuff like that, it's not because, oh, I want them to turn their lives and their heart over to religion and all that other stuff. Like, religion didn't save me. Christ saved me.
Exactly.
So when I'm like, yo, come to church and yada, 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 it's because I want them to get this word. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really there's just transformation that happens with it.
Definitely.
And it's so dope to see some of my friends that I did run the streets with, and we ran hard, and we was smoking, we was drinking. I wasn't much of a smoker, but if they passed it, I might have hit it. And, doing just all sorts of nonsense in the streets. And then to see some of my friends actually give their life over to the Lord or answer their callings, because I believe that everyone has a calling on their life. It's just like, are you going to answer it?
Right.
And it's so dope to, to have done the dirt in the street, but then to turn our lives over and then make it into the kingdom together.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. Like, that's what I want. I sinned and I sinned well, and now it's like, we can't act like that wasn't fun. I had a ball. All of it wasn't fun, but I had a ball. But now it's to a point where it's like, just as hard as I went for him, I'm trying to go hard for the king.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now. So when I see my boy out, he was talking about, I remember he was introducing me, not introducing to me, but he was pretty much like clowning with his friend on the side of him, and was like, me and her, man, she crazy. She was crazy. She used to have blades in her mouth, and I don't remember all that. But, but she be fighting and all this other nonsense. And I was like, oh, and I kind of turned red just because I was like, Dad, you really don't see yourself until you continue to hear people say, I remember this and I remember that and so forth. And then it was funny
how we forget.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It is hilarious how we forget.
I did that.
Yes, yes, and I would always be fearful about fighting, not because of not being able to fight, but because of the fact that, I was always told that if you fight, don't let them get up, and so I would try to do everything possible to prevent the fight. Woo! To prevent the fight, and so good, and so I never felt fully comfortable. I felt heavy. I was never dealt with depression. I never dealt with, being oppressed per se, but I dealt with the fruits of that lifestyle, promiscuity, drinking, smoking, partying, all that stuff, and it was just all a cover up. It was all transitional fixes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to be able to see one of my homeboys out and about, and they're like, yo, we done came a long way. And it's a male, not just a female, because, females are known for being in church and I mean, you expect to walk in the doors and see females. You know what I'm saying? But there are some strong men out there that's going hard for Christ and repping, coming up off them old school lifestyles and not caring and saying, I will live and die for Christ. Yeah. Tears streaming down their face like he saved me, and I want you to taste and see too.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
It is something for our men to step up, because it's natural for a girl to find their way. I don't know why, but typically when you go into church, it's like women, man, little soft.
Right.
Little bits and pieces of men, but mostly women. So it is nice to see our brothers. Yes.
And then, this whole stereotype, women going to church to find a man and man come to church. Nah, I'm going to church to find Christ and to find my identity. That's the man that I want. Exactly. And I'm looking for the fruits of Christ in the man. Men going in churches to find wives just as quickly as women are trying to go in church to find husbands. Yeah. But after really walking this walk out, I know that no one knows a creation better than the Creator. So I know that God is the one that's going to say, her. Because I'm dying over here every day, renewing my mind every day, being delivered, fighting, all this extra stuff for the man that's deserving of me.
Yes,
and there was many men that were not deserving of me and had me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one thing that I can say now is that the man that has me, they will have a wife. Not just a wife, but they will have a renewed, transformed person. They won't have that person out in the streets. Not to say that I'm going to be so heavily bound, I'm no earthly good. Not to say that I'm going to be so holy, although I'm striving to be holy.
Right.
What I'm saying is that the woman that these men in my past have had, the man that God has created for me, he's not going to have that woman. He's going to have the new, molded, transformed, conformed heart, mind, renewed mind, heart, child of the King.
Yes.
Because that's who I want to ride and die for. That's what I'm at. So. All right, cut.